This is a new knife from Vosteed. It's called the Porcupine. Vosteed sent this knife to me, but I'm not getting paid by them to say anything. Not that it would matter, as I'll always be honest and fair in my reviews. It uses 14C28N, a tough stainless steel that is cost effective. This is my second knife in that steel, and with its qualities, it's a first choice when it comes to a more budget steel. Being stainless, I can have a non-coated blade and not worry about rust. It's tough, so the edge won't damage as easily, and it's easy to sharpen, with adequate edge retention. This was hair-popping sharp out of the box, and this knife is thin, making it great for slicing. Because of its thinness, this isn't a knife made for abuse. It's made for daily cutting tasks that you'd benefit from using a slicey knife. There's a finger choil integrated into the blade. When it comes to finger choils, I don't really like them. I personally don't like to put my finger up onto the blade in any scenario. I always keep my finger below the guard, so I don't really consider that as part of the handle on knives. The problem with that is now the blade is farther away from your hand, making finer cuts a little bit harder. One benefit of a choil is that it makes it easier to sharpen, and I do appreciate that. The wire clip on this knife is a perfect choice in my opinion. It's deep carry with good retention and tucks away, keeping it hidden. I've recently started having a problem with one of my cheap EDC knives falling out of my pocket because of a lack of a deep carry clip and poor retention. This one won't have that problem. This has a button-operated liner lock, making it very easy to operate. You never have to touch the blade when opening and closing it. It has the fidget factor. Now, is that really important? Well, if a knife has a fidget factor, that means it's inherently easy to operate. A knife that's fun to fidget with is always a good thing. When the blade locks out, it's a strong click. The lock feels really solid. The lock is great to use, but how reliable is it? I wouldn't have confidence in a knife that came unlocked when I didn't want it to. Doing a spine whack test, it seems to hold up fine. The handle is composed of G10, making the knife feel more premium than a plastic handle. For the price range, I do expect them to use G10. And the G10 is very smooth on here, but not slippery. It feels really good in the hand. And even though it's small, it still fills the hand out well enough. And with its liners, it feels solid. It's not the cheapest knife, but the price is fair. MSRP looks to be around $70. Pricing it at the point above a cheap knife, but below the higher end knives. That's why it's in that budget knife category. It's also made in China, and that would probably help keep the price down. I quite like the look of it. It's a good looking knife, and the fit and finish is superb. I couldn't find anything wrong with this knife. It's a new release, and I'm not going to say to go out and buy the knife necessarily, but I really do like it. Would I spend the money on it? Well, if I really wanted it, and maybe eventually it goes on sale, I don't see why not. In my experience so far, it seems like a really nice knife. It's a quality knife that won't break the bank. If you're used to carrying around cheap knives, this is a huge step up. So let me know what you think of it, and subscribe for more videos. Goodbye.